Roy will throw it in, out to Daphnis, near the top of the key, guarded by multiple Ithaca players, McKiernan and Wendell. Weisberg, back to Daphnis. Daphnis, deep three, that goes!
These deep threes are falling. That was another long attempt. The first one from Daphnis from that range, but it went in.
A nice three-pointer there. Laseth to Wendell. Wendell out to Cabral. Back to Wendell. Fakes the three. Drives inside. Guarded by Daphnis. Now to Cabral for the layup. That's a little off base. Laseth fighting for the rebound. Going to be a foul.
Almost a beautiful connection there between the two stars for the Bombers.
Yeah, that was a very nice pass by Wendell after the fake. But then Laseth rebounds, draws the foul. Hoping to make these.
Foul was on Alexi Downey, and Laseth also highlights another key element of the Bombers there.
Laseth hits the first.
As the leading rebounder for IC as a freshman, today has not been his best performance, but he's just coming off of a game versus Union where he had 15 points. He shot 7 of 9 from the field, and he had 9 boards. He has been a great piece to this team. And again, he's only a freshman.
Unbelievable start to his Bombers career. Hits both free throws. And he's averaging 7.6 rebounds a game. He's going to be a very special player in his career for the Bombers. The 6'5 wing. Now Weisberg guarded closely by Holmes. Skorich with it now. Now Weisberg, top of the key three. You better call Staples. We need an easy button. That was a huge one by Weisberg. And now the Bombers with it. And that is going to be a foul.
The three-point shooting for Skidmore is lights out. It sure does look for them tonight. I mean, every shot is falling, it feels like. And these are not just from just behind the line. These aren't corner threes. These are from the wing, 5 feet behind the line, and there's nothing but net.
Definitely. Both teams been pretty successful from three in this half in particular. And now an attempt to get that into Laseth for the layup, but that is picked off. And Roy in the corner to McCafferty. McCafferty will try it. He's got it. Dylan McCafferty made a couple of threes earlier, and now the mid-range working for him. Cabral will try the three. That one off the back of the rim, rebounded by Roy. Roy inside Skorich, but that he's taken out of bounds right there. And Ithaca's going to get the basketball. A lot of substitutions here for the Bombers. Cabral, Wendell, Laseth headed to the sideline. Penders, O'Neal, and Wissink into the game. Good to see that O'Neal's okay. O'Neal will bring it out for the Bombers, serving as the point guard in this new look lineup. McKiernan at the top of the key. He'll try the three. That one short. Penders with the rebound. Penders being bullied by multiple Skidmore defenders. Now Wissink out to Penders again. McKiernan back at the top of the key. Now to Cabral. Cabral driving inside. Out to Wissink. Wissink almost stripped, but will try the three. That goes! Cole Wissink, welcome back.
As the shot clock was about to expire, that was a tough three. Fading away, puts it up off the dribble. Cole Wissink, what a shot.
And Wissink, his second three-pointer of the day, and once again, hasn't played since the last Skidmore matchup, so nice to see him getting back into his groove.
For the Bombers, you hope that's an area of some improvement in the second half. The fact that Skidmore has shot 10 of 20 from the three-point line and Ithaca's 5 of 22, the fact that IC is still up by 8 points is a testament to the tenacity of this team. But it's tough to win ball games when you get outshot from behind the three-point arc by that much.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, good to see that the Bombers are hitting these threes. And they've had some retaliation more so in this second half for those Charlie Phantom shots in the first half. Weisberg still hitting them at times. So, I mean, I think this is going to be a high-scoring one when it all is said and done. Already 56-48 Bombers, and we still have 12 minutes in the second half. And that'll be a serve by Crow. Scooped up by Sabatier. To Cox, to Graper. It is blocked, and Clarkson gets it down. The first signs of life for the Golden Knights here. One of their very first points with the ball in this entire set. Isabel Crow will serve again. Crow gets it up. And Sabatier responds to Cox, to Klaus. Klaus with the kill. And the Bombers will get the ball back.
And Klaus doing a great job there of just putting the ball where the defense isn't. Usually you want to do that in baseball, but obviously incredible to do it on the volleyball court as there's this limited space to where everyone, quite frankly, is on the court.
Klaus has come up huge for these Bombers. And that is a serve by Benedict. Clarkson responds. And it is Reagan with the kill attempt. And Sabatier tries to knock it down. Spector will have it over to Reagan. Back to Ithaca's side. Cox. And Gonzalez Abreu with the kill. Gets it down. Galanti unable to scoop that up. Diving for it, but it is just not close enough.
Andrew, some would say she was due for a kill. Just hasn't been out there for most of this second set. So when she's out there, her name will be known.
Gonzalez Abreu been getting some rest as the Bombers have a pretty big lead in this set. Benedict, the unsuccessful serve there, and Clarkson will get it back. That is Reagan serving for them. And Reagan hits it up. Dug up by Costa. Over to Cox. Over to Gonzalez Abreu, and she is rejected. The blocks by the duo, Treichel and Freer for Clarkson up front. Galanti getting up there now. This could be a crucial turn of events for the Golden Knights. And Reagan will serve. Ithaca. Gonzalez Abreu tries to get the kill down. She's got it. And Gonzalez Abreu is making some noise once again for the Bombers after a brief possession by Clarkson. And
She's digging deep into her bag on some of these plays. Goes for the straight-up tap there, and it worked very successfully.
Yeah, but Graper's serve goes right into the net there. This serving by Ithaca is something to watch for down the stretch of the set if they want to put this away. But Spector going to serve right now. The libido for Clarkson. And that'll go to Benedict. To Cox. And Gonzalez Abreu trying to save it, but it is not enough. Clarkson gets their 11th point of the set, and Spector getting ready to serve again.
Now the Golden Knights seeing a little bit of life here late in the set.
Yeah, absolutely. They've gone back and forth a little bit here. And they will get another kill down. That is Natalie Peacock. So, Alec, if you recall, it was 15-3 at one point, and now 20-12. Clarkson on a 9-5 run here.
It seems like this, maybe not a lack of communication, but just a lack of self-awareness of not knowing what's going on at the court at the time. It just feels like the Bombers have been a little off in the past 4 or 5 points, just not being in the right place at the right time, just being a little off with their timing, their communication. So I think this was a great timeout call by Coach Johan Dolfer. I think he knows that this is a very winnable set, and right now, they're not even losing to Clarkson. They're losing to themselves. They need to just get their heads right, take a second, deep breath, and squeak out these last 5 points.
I think it's possible that Dolfer is telling them to do the exact opposite of what the Clarkson coach said and speed this game back up, because that has played to their advantage. But the service errors are going to have to be cleaned up if the Bombers want to win this set.
And a timeout taken here. Frustration for Waleed Farid. We're going to send it down to Andrew Roberts. Andrew, take it away.
In this last stretch here, a 15-2 Union run until Evan Cabral hit a three-pointer to break that up. Now, not too much of a surprise that Union has scored 67 points here. They have the #1 field goal percentage and the #2 offense in the Liberty League, and it's been led by Jack Plesser. 21 points on the day. Also have Christian Dufort with 14 and Matthew Garside with 11. So many capable scorers on this Union offense. Let's see what Ithaca is able to do in the rest of this second half. Back to you guys, Morgan and Luke. Here with Coach Waleed Farid. of the Ithaca men's basketball team. Now, Coach, very close one here against Union today, but Union ended up coming out with the win here. What difference did you notice in their game plan versus the road win at Union for you guys a month ago?
We didn't defend very well. Our defensive intensity and execution was not great, and they played phenomenal. They took advantage of us. They're really well coached. They made big shots, and we just didn't execute the way we should have.
Now, how do you look to change that defensive game plan headed into these next couple games? Big test next Saturday against RPI. What are you looking to do moving forward?
Yeah, they're all big tests, but the good thing is we got a whole week of practice, so we got to take advantage of that time, focus on getting better. We have a lot of games left to play. Losing this game doesn't change anything for our season. It's just another opportunity for us to learn and improve, and I think we know what we need to work on after today.
Good evening. I'm Andrew Roberts. Ithaca men's and women's basketball are in the mix for top spots in the Liberty League as we enter the home stretch of the season. The men's team sits at 7-2 in Liberty League play, half the game behind the 8-2 RPI Engineers, who's received votes in yesterday's D3 Top 25 poll. Their only losses in Liberty League play thus far have come on the road, one to the Engineers and one to Hobart. The team will face Hobart in a rematch on Friday at 7 p.m. Catch the game on VIC, where Luke Fitzpatrick and Jonathan Falco will be on the call. The women's team, meanwhile, is 8-1 in Liberty League play, though they are 1-6 outside of the conference, and no Liberty League teams receive top 25 votes on the women's side. The team will rematch William Smith, a team they took down 48-24 in Geneva. That game is on Friday at 5 p.m., and it will also be on VIC with Morgan Spriggs and Farrell Hudson on the call. To the East Hill, Cornell women's ice hockey moved up a spot from 6th to 5th in the USA Today and USA Hockey National poll. Only Wisconsin, Ohio State, Minnesota, and Colgate remain ranked ahead of them. The team sits at 15-4-4, with their only unranked loss coming against Union. Avia Dom leads the team on offense with 23 points in 23 games. They'll host St. Lawrence at the Lina Rink in their next game Friday at 6 p.m. Catch that one on ESPN+. To the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres will host the Boston Bruins at the KeyBank Center tonight at 7. The Bruins are coming off a week in which top scorer David Pastrnak scored 8 points in 4 games, leading to a 3-1 record for the team. The Sabres, meanwhile, are coming off a 1-3 week and hope to improve upon their last place standing in the Atlantic Division. Wrapping up with the NFL, the matchup is set for Super Bowl 59 as the Kansas City Chiefs will take on the Philadelphia Eagles in a rematch. Quarterbacks Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts will face off once again, but this time, the Eagles have a new standout performer on offense in running back Saquon Barkley. Stay tuned for coverage from Radio Row next week right here on WICB. That's all for now, but stay tuned for more headlines tomorrow morning, and be sure to tune into WICB Sports Talk Sunday at 6:30. With sports in the 5 o'clock hour, I'm Andrew Roberts.
I'm here with Alex Barth from 98.5 The Sports Hub. One thing I noticed with the goal line, a lot of the formations they use, it was a mix of 12 offense and 11, but didn't see much of Tyquan Thornton out there. Any reason for that?
Well, we saw him a lot early in the late last week, early this week, and he didn't really produce a lot. So I wonder if they're trying a new look, or maybe there's something he's working on separately. They want him to watch and see what he can do to improve there in the future.
Yeah. And just the raw athleticism is something in itself. But, I mean, flipping over to the defense a little bit, we heard in Adrian Phillips' interview, he was sort of talking about who's going to be that next man up. Devin McCourty retiring as sort of the leader of the defense, and it's kind of, he's talked about, it's been an opportunity for a lot of different guys who have been around a while to step up into that defensive leadership role. Who have you noticed standing out on this defense?
Well, Phillips is one of them. I think one of the longest tenured, both in terms of the team and the league, defensive backs. In this unit, he has more responsibility. I think you've seen Kyle Duggar take on more of a leadership communication responsibility, which is big for a guy in a contract here. And then, honestly, Juwan Bentley from that second level, maybe expanding his communication duties a little bit. So they've said it, and it's true. You're not going to replace Devin McCourty with just one player. It's going to be by committee, and it does seem like they have a bunch of different players taking on little aspects of what McCourty did.
Yeah, and even though he's in a much different role on the field, I think Matthew Judon off the field definitely can take on some of that leadership role as one of the premier defensive players on this team.
Absolutely. I'd say certainly. We got to see him back out on the field a little more today, too.
Yeah, him and Stevenson both limited early in camp, but Stevenson
running full on with the first team offense today, even in the red zone. Saw him catch a couple touchdown passes. What do you think of him today?
I thought he looked good. You know, in a practice like this, it's all about is he quickly finding the hole, and is he hitting the hole? He was doing that. So we have a big season coming up for him. We know what kind of workload they have in store based off what they did last year with him. So to see him getting healthy now, like you said, was limited earlier in camp, practice today, good sign.